Welcome to the CodPast podcast, where your fishy past hooks your brilliant future. With Dr. Deborah, Laura, and Dr. Trish.
Okay. Welcome back, everybody.
Yeah, this is an exciting day. So this is 4 out of 4 with our local baseball player, Tom Rowan, and his moving through having a normal, fun, exciting life, finding out he had brain cancer and going, well, I guess I'm going to do a double hitter again. And so, yeah, this is his story about how he went from normal to craziness to going through all that and coming out better than ever. I always said he needed to have a hole in his head, and now he's really got one.
I'm trying to push it out live here, and I can't find the little thing that shows me how to do that.
Oh,
yeah, it's changed, right? I was just looking for it myself. It's underneath it. It just says share. I think I'm sharing live.
Yeah. Also, Deborah, you can go to the very top 3 little dots, and it'll say copy link, and then go back to your own. And anybody out there who's watching us, you can do the same thing and put it on your own page, and then you get the collective attention of everybody that's on live all over the place. So it's a little trick that works pretty well.
Yeah, so welcome back, week 4 of 4 with the imposter in the infield, Tom Rowan. Who's told us his stories and told us how much he's changed. I can't wait to hear that as well, because I know that you feel you've changed through this whole process too, Tom. And I know we have a few things that we want to dig into this week. We sort of left on a cliffhanger last week. But before we start, I think Deborah has a few jokes for us.
Oh, let's hear them.
Okay. So you'll get this one, Tom.
You guys have to turn off your sound because we're doing reverberation of Facebook.
Oh.
It might be mine.
Yeah, I don't hear it. I don't hear it at all.
So, why are fish so easy to weigh?
Why are they so easy to
They
weigh?
come with their own scales?
That's it. Because they have their own scales.
Did you know the answer to that? That's amazing.
I didn't, but I was trying to word associate.
Oh,
yeah, it's useful for something like this.
That's what happens when you're up all night in airports.
Yeah. If I look a little tired, first of all, I've got my glasses off because there was too much glare coming off of the ring. And secondly, I was in Trish and Tom's neighborhood last night. I flew in from Burbank at like 10 p.m. I looked out my window and looked for the Phoenix lights, and I saw something that was kind of yellow, and I'm like, oh, it's starting again. I'm going to have to get in touch with Dr. Lynn, but I don't know. I think it was probably something on the mountain. I don't know. I'm not an expert at all, but I was excited. And then I flew out last night at 1 a.m. and got home at 6:30 and went to work, took a little nap, and here I am, excited to be together again.
Well, you know, those mountains that you saw are called the Estrella Mountains because the Native Americans say that that they used to see a lot of lights up in the sky. This is before even planes. That's why they named it Estrella, because the mountains were connected to the star people. And so when our friend, Dr. Lynn, in fact, isn't that coming right up in March? Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Gosh dang it. You guys may have to fly out twice.
I know.
Dr. Lynn is gonna do her, what is it, the 24th or 23rd?
The Phoenix Lights is usually around the 17th. It's around I don't know what date it is this year, but it's usually around St. Patrick's Day.
And
yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was 1997. It was March 13th, 1997, because I know that because that was the year my oldest was born. So 27 years ago.
Wow. And so, you know, she was just a regular physician down at Barrows brain center, and she saw all these ET looking things, and she was the only one that got credible footage of them.
Mm-hmm.
And she put them on video and on her regular 35 millimeter at the time, and they were able to get real distinct measurements of both the video and comparing it with the 35 millimeter, that they said it couldn't have been made up. It had to be real. And I've been to her house several times, and that whole story always just so amazes me. And it amazes me that we're all friends and that we know her,
Yeah.
and that we've
She did a
supported her.
podcast with us early on. And she's like
Oh, right,
episode
right, right.
3 or 4, something like that. So for those of you that want to dive deeper into this, we actually have an episode with her.
You know what? We should
Yeah, it's Dr.
promote.
Lynn Katai's episode. So
We
At
should
KIUT.
we should repost that, or make a. We could even get her
we
back
could do
on.
that for next Friday. We could
Yeah.
repost it. That would
Yeah,
be a
and
good time to do
we
it.
could maybe interview her again and repost part of that or something, because in the last 2 years, finally, she's had a lot of breakthroughs of people supporting her work. They were so mean to her in the beginning, and tried to take her to court and ridicule her, and just normal stuff. Tried to take her license away like they always do, and she just hung in there and used all of her money, and she kept hiring different scientists to validate what she saw or what is going on. And then this last year, we had so many breakthroughs about ET stuff in Washington. So I know we're getting kind of off on Tom's thing,
Yeah,
but
poor Tom. But it's all the same thing, right? Like it's supporting people in their journey in life where they
Right.
are and championing them because everybody's got something at some point in their life. And Tom's had an incredible one, and he's going through another incredible journey now.
yeah. And as a matter of fact, just to brag, he started on his different type of chemotherapy last night. And they always kind of scare you, into all this stuff. And this chemotherapy is no radiation. I just give it to him carefully with gloves and everything at night in a certain way. It's very specific with hours and all that stuff. And they all said, no, he's going to be really sick. And here are some pills that are going to help him with nausea and all of that. But and if he needs more, just go ahead and give him more. And so we were all kind of doing all this stuff, like, what time is it? Is it time to, and then he got up once, last evening, and I thought, uh-oh, now he's sick. So I said, hey, Tom, are you okay? And he goes, yeah, I'm fine. Why? And I said, the pills, Tom, the chemotherapy. He goes, oh, I forgot. And then he got up this morning and was doing stuff to get ready to go do whatever he was doing. And I said, well, how do you feel? He said, I feel fine. Why? Why are you asking that? And I said, the chemotherapy, Tom. Like, do you feel it? So he has had, again, this is crazy, because the time before they gave him this trial that they hadn't used before, and it was very heavy drugs, and he had no reaction. My feeling about that, and I'm going to stick to it, is that we've done so many things to beef up his system that he can tolerate the difficult stuff that they do to try to, you know, get the cancer to go away or absorb or whatever it's doing. And so I just think, the whole thing today, our whole presentation, we've got Dr. Deborah, our doctor nurse, who's incredible. And she's going to do a special presentation on just how to be. Oh, you probably have another joke before, though, huh?
No.
No.
So Dr. Deborah is going to do a presentation for us on really, on how to stay healthy, because how to stay healthy is what we used to get Tom back into being healthy, because Tom was doing a lot of things that were against the slides that Deborah's going to show us. And we'll talk about that a little bit. And then at the end of the show, I made a little video photograph thing of Tom, before, during, and after. And so people don't have to be afraid of being diagnosed with cancer. I still think cancer is your friend. It's just trying to tell you you're a toxic dump and please take care of yourself. And so cancer, I think, shows up when nothing else is working and your body is really struggling. And it says, "Hey, I need some help here. This is not working for me." So, Dr. Deborah, I gave you sharing
Okay.
capabilities.
And a lot of these things are things that Tom's been doing, and he's had a really, really successful time and quick healing. So we're just going to talk a little bit about healthy habits. And a lot of these habits are what all of us are doing on this call. So I am going to,
Yeah, it's a progression. Tom said yesterday or something, no, this is just a journey that you never get off of. It's just always exciting and always wonderful. And you you just do it better every day, and we get better every day.
hold on, there we go. So healthy habits and vibrant life, right? This is inspired by nature because nature is what heals you, and nature is what we need to look to when we're looking for help. Connecting these three things lead to optimum health: mind, body, spirit. And Trisha's one that always says mind, body, mind, wealth, health, happiness, mind, body, spirit. So mind, body, spirit, your mental health, your physical health, and your spiritual health are really important. So let's let the healthy habits begin. Hot lemon water first thing in the morning, each morning before anything. No coffee for an hour and a half after you get up. I know that's a really hard thing to do, but your body doesn't want coffee. That'll spike your cortisol levels to the roof. So hot lemon water, you can just have that, or you can add some ginger and turmeric. Cayenne pepper is good, and cinnamon. So but at least hot lemon water each morning, and then drink some water after that. It'll detoxify your liver, enhances digestion, improves metabolism, and it'll supply your body with vitamin C and potassium. Trish got me hooked on this, and I've been doing it ever since. And Laura does it, and my daughter does it. So I will never not have my hot lemon water. And when I don't have it, I kind of feel it. So we love the lemons. Trisha's a lemon person.
And we got a bunch of them now because it's spring in Phoenix.
Perfect. So sunlight also has many health benefits. Of course, it's natural vitamin D, and your body needs vitamin D for many, many things in your body. Also, if you get sun indirectly to the whites of your eyes, do not look into the sun with your eyes. But as you're walking, look ahead and just don't have your sunglasses on and let the light get into your eyes. They say that morning light, the first light, is the best light and improves your energy, your immune function, and also optimal sleep by regulating your body's internal clock. That first light, your body's like, yeah, and then you sleep really well. Meditation has benefits galore. So it helps you focus on the present. It'll reduce stress, anxiety, your resting heart rate, your resting blood pressure, increases your creativity, improves your sleep, enhances your self-awareness, produces a really deep state of peace and well-being, and it also can improve your memory. And it is a learned skill, and just keep at it. Just keep trying, keep trying, keep trying, and just know that being still is really important to your parasympathetic nervous system. Because we're always in the sympathetic, right? We got to go, we got to do this. We're Americans, we got to be right ahead of ourselves. So to tap into your parasympathetic, you can meditate. And there's a lot of guided meditations out there on YouTube, so you don't have to make anything up. So another form of meditation is prayer, and it's your connection to God, and it's your connection to all people. So peace and harmony, and I love this lotus flower. Reminds me of my friend Dr. Trish. Meditation and prayer generate harmony, and that leads to peace, which we all could use more of. This is a beautiful labyrinth, and I'll show you a picture of a couple more labyrinths. And maybe after I'm done, Trish can talk a little bit about labyrinths and what the significance of them are. But I just love this labyrinth.
Where is that, Deborah?
I don't know. It's just beautiful.
I'm wondering if it's France because
It
of all
might be.
the.
Oh, yes, it is. It's France because I remember reading it now. And look at how the lavender is
Yeah.
around. Oh, it's just gorgeous.
France is famous for their lavender fields, but they're also famous for labyrinths.
Oh, yeah. And then here's a couple more examples of labyrinths with all these colored rocks. I just think those are beautiful. And then who wouldn't want to be walking in this one on the edge of the ocean? Just so pretty. Just really quiets your mind. So nutrition. Of course, what we put in our body is really, really important. And so um, the definition of nutrition is like providing or obtaining the food necessary for health and growth. And so we eat all these beautifully colorful, natural foods that are in these pictures, clean protein, healthy fats, olive oil, avocados are healthy fats. And make sure that you just stay out of the middle of the grocery store because that's where all the processed foods are. Eat on the outside of the grocery store. Processed foods are not food. They're not food. And
No, cardboard actually has less damage to your body than processed foods.
I believe that. I believe that
Cardboard, it won't hurt you.
if you look at your food, if you look at the side of a cereal box, for example, and the list of ingredients is this long, it's not food. It's not food. It's just garbage. So don't eat it. Um, and these are foods that are really high in fiber, and we need fiber for many reasons. It can help lower your LDL cholesterol, which is the cholesterol that kind of clogs you up a little bit. It can control your blood sugar level. It'll aid in healthy weight. If you get the right amount of fiber, maintains your digestive health, fosters happy gut myomes. You know that you need the really healthy gut to be healthy, and it can lower the risk of heart disease. All that food looks really good. I must be hungry.
I must be hungry.
Yeah. So, exercise. This is a big one, and there's all kinds of exercise, right? Laura's a weightlifting champion. We do a lot of walking, hiking. Some people ride bikes, some people swim. There's just all kinds of exercise that you can do. But I love this saying that the climb speaks to our character, but the view, I think, to our souls. So if you're going to hike somewhere or walk somewhere, take in take it in because it's got two benefits. And this is just somebody hiking along the water, which I love the lake. That's Lake Michigan, by the way, where I live.
You have waves like that?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Big waves. This is just a couple other hikers, and look how beautiful that is. And of course, this is Sedona over here and a spiritual vortex. So get out and move your body and enjoy the scenery. The last thing I'm going to talk about is community, and we talk about this all the time between all of us, is how important it is to have a community around you that support you, that care about you, and that you can rely on and have fun with. And the benefits of having a community, it really is part of your health. It gives you a sense of belonging, significance. We get support from each other. Big one is accountability. So we do a lot of accountability with each other, with our health and our health goals. You can be loved and valued. That's important. Share knowledge and ideas. We do that all the time. And it just improves your mental well-being when you're a part of a community. So that is it. And I was wondering if Dr. Trish would, I'm going to go back to the labyrinths because I just want her to talk just a
I
little bit.
love the way you do your PowerPoints and the way you do the transitions. I don't know anybody who does transitions like that. And this is a beautiful thing. And if you like this, you can see Deborah and Laura and me and Tom in person in Los Angeles on April 1st, 2nd, and 3rd as we come together with our own very, very famous Jack Canfield to play all day on April 2nd, but we'll have private teachings on April 1st and on April 3rd. So we'll be doing a lot of things, and we'll kick off the whole event on Monday night. That's the day after Easter. And Deborah, I think we'll talk about this some more, but I'd really like it if you would do the kickoff, kind of get everybody together, because you have you're going to be kind of encapsulating what we're going to be talking about is, how can you build a business around who you are instead of everything else? Like what can you be devoted to and have a community that supports you just being you? And I love this because it really sets the tone for why we're going to be in LA.
Yeah. So just take a minute about the labyrinths.
Yeah, I am I'm very big into labyrinths. I go to labyrinths here in Phoenix quite a bit. We have some beautiful ones in Phoenix. But labyrinths are very similar to ancient medicine wheels that are done in tribes all over the world. So even African tribes, Australian Aborigines, or our tribes in the United States. Every ancient historical tribal group has something like labyrinths or medicine wheels. And what they actually do is they create vortexes on the earth. So the earth our bodies are made up of electrical and magnetic energy that swirls all the time. It swirls around our bodies, swirls around every living thing, including why our Native Americans say the rock people is because rocks also have this electrical field. And when, I don't know why, but this is honestly the truth, there's a man named, I love him, Dr. Pete Sanders, Laura knows him, in Sedona. And Pete is a very good friend of mine. He was going to be an MD out of Harvard, and he just decided to spend his entire life trying to figure out what vortexes were scientifically, because that's his world, is science. So he now is the top person in Sedona that takes people on vortex tours and explains to them what they are. So what vortexes are is they cause a swirling of the energy in the area. And what medicine wheels do that are very similar to labyrinths is they create a vortex where they're made. So when they decide to make a labyrinth, most of the time, labyrinths and medicine wheels and Sherpas that are made, is that Sherpas are
Supta, I think. It's not Sherpas. Sherpas
are
the people that,
yes,
Stupa.
Yeah, Stupa, Stupa. So all three of these create energy vortexes in the area that they go. But typically the religious group around these they'll pray, and they will get some kind of prophecy that this needs to be built here. And that's very true of labyrinths. Labyrinths come a lot from Rome, Catholicism. Most Episcopal churches in the U.S. have a labyrinth attached to them somewhere. Most of the Episcopal churches and many of the Catholic churches, they'll have them in the floor of the church. So they'll have them in the tile. And they create a vortex. And I'm spending so much time with Pete, I believe they have healing energies. We don't know how God works in some of these miraculous, miracle, molecular ways, but they're discovering it more and more and more. And so people that go up to Sedona, sometimes they have these instantaneous healings. And Pete has many stories about the vortexes creating these miraculous healings. But I don't think that there are any real miracles. I think Jesus was trying to tell us that all the things that seem like magic or miracle is how God made the world. or how God made the universe, really. It's
I
all
think I
precise.
think I told you we started describing them in my group that I'm in as normicals, right?
As
Like just
what?
expect them normicals.
Normals instead of
I
miracles.
like that.
Yeah.
I
Well,
So I
like
mean,
and
maybe
Trish, also,
miraculous.
I got to add a couple slides to this because this ties into the labyrinths, but grounding is 100% so important for your health. And in the winter, I use grounding mats and grounding sheets, but in the summer, I'm on the land, in the beach, whatever, and you can discharge your ions into the earth. And you can look it up. It is absolutely imperative for your health. So I will add that.
Well,
But also,
I think most heart surgeons now are actually recommending their heart patients to go out and walk on the ground
yeah,
because I know a friend of mine in at the Polo Club in Santa Barbara had quite a bit of open heart surgery. And I went over to his house when he was coming home and I said, hey, you really need to get outside and walk. And he never was a walker. And he said, my doctor said I have to go and do earthing. So it's getting into the regular, medical community that these different modalities are scientific and God made them up. If God did it, it probably works.
yeah,
I would defer
exactly.
to that.
And
Well,
I think
yeah, go ahead. I was
I
just going
think
to say, go ahead
no,
and
please.
show us Tom's
What
Yeah.
I
pictures.
do.
Okay. I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to show you Tom's. I think it's this. Yep. And it's just a really fast little compilation of whoops, Tom's journey. And I'll say a couple of things, and Tom, you can jump in here if you want to. Let me
This was not pre
approve.
approved. Just so you know, this is not approved.
Okay. All right. So, so this is his little journey that he went to health and well-being.
That's not me.
It kind of looks
No,
like
it's
you.
like me.
So this happened in September when his mouth just wasn't working right. And this was days before, and this was the morning of surgery. That is the day of his surgery, and we prayed a lot to Jesus that day. That was the day after when he got all cleaned up and he looked pretty good. This is the horrible food they have at hospitals. They still haven't fixed that. And Tom's first therapy session. Whoops. Wonder why it says your paragraph next. Oh, well, it cut off half of my presentation, but that's okay. I think the rest of the few minutes that we have left, we'll just kind of talk to Tom because we really believe that we have talked so many times about what a blessing this has been because so many things changed so quickly when he got his first inkling that he wasn't 100%, and he had never really been to the doctor, never done anything well, that particular year, he had a knee replacement and a hip replacement because he had some old baseball injuries. And then all of a sudden he had to go have brain surgery. But before that, he never had the flu, never went to the doctor for.
Then you have a doctor.
No, he didn't have a doctor.
Why would what? I said, why do I need to get a doctor? And they said, oh, anyway, well, nothing's wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. And when he goes in to fill out those papers, have you ever done this? Have you ever done that? I mean, Tom's big thing is he still likes milk, but he's not a drinker. He's not a smoker. He's not any of those things. And so, but his typical lifestyle was 180 degrees away from mine. He was not necessarily motivated by healthy habits like Deborah's slides. Those have been a part of my life my whole life because I got pregnant when I was 17 and I wanted to take good care of my baby. So I started reading about nutrition, started learning yoga, teaching yoga, and became a vegetarian right away. I mean, I always kind of was curious, like, how do I get my body to be top? and how do I get my kids' bodies to be top, you know, and not be sick and all that. So I always did many alternative things, but I also worked for an MD. I worked for a family physician who was a doctor for all the health services for the Native Americans in around Durango, Colorado. But Tom had spent his life as an athlete, and I've seen this with a lot of athletes. Athletes start off these huge, you know, muscle machines, and they're so gregarious and they've gotten these great habits of working their bodies and everything. And so they don't really develop habits of being 100% nutritionally and all that because they don't think they have to, because they have these natural talented gifts. And they're just naturally have the ability to make friends, you know, do whatever they do. And so Tom had years of eating in fast food places as fast as he could. He loves to this moment donuts, but he's almost over it, right?
Oh, I'm over it. Yeah, well, when she says, tell people in the hospital and stuff, she'll say, you know, if you have a, may cover this, but she says, you know what sugar does? Think about a petri dish.
A little petri dish from junior high.
Yeah, here's all this sugar and all these like.
No, put three molecules of cancer in there, little 3 cells, and put a little pinch of sugar, and within hours, the cancer grows over the sides of the petri dish. And that was good enough for me. I was like, whoops. And so, you know, we all love sugar and we're all addicted to sugar, but we have to decide, you know, to take a little bit of poison and then clean it up. Because if you create your own toxic waste dump, you are going to pay. And I have a little thing, maybe Deborah wrote it on my kitchen cabinet. Deborah wrote, "I love you," and that's up there. And there's another one though that says, if you don't focus on wellness, you will focus on illness.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so true because
I think that's Lynn.
Oh, Lynn? Yeah. Well, I have a lot of cool friends that do stuff like this. Deborah is my, I always call her my bulldog because she nips at my heels if I do things that are wrong. And
She's
so,
got us confused. You mean me? I'm
Yeah,
the
you
nipper.
mean her.
She's
the nipper.
No, Laura is, yeah, did I say Deborah? Yeah.
Yeah.
Laura got
Now
all
you're a
of us.
bulldog too.
Yeah, she got us all to do 75 hard. And when she very first did that, I'm like, are you kidding? Who in their right mind would do that? But now I'm addicted to it. I'll be doing it my whole life because I learned so much about how it clears my mind. Not only my body, but it cleared up my mind and it just made me think more. But Tom has changed so much since that first day when he was having a hard time with his mouth. And I just really I thought he was a lost cause because he liked sugar so much. He drank 5 Cokes a day. He really didn't have any healthy habits that I could see at all. He didn't drink water. He drank milk. He didn't exercise. He thought he was strong enough. And so when he first started having these symptoms, he said, what can I do? And I said, you're not going to want to know what I tell you to do. And he said, no, I will if you'll tell me. Just tell me. And the first thing I said, you got to stop sugar until you get this cleaned up. You've got the toxic waste cleanup job to do. And so he said, okay. And that was the last time he had sugar except for his birthday. But he has not had any sugar. He stopped drinking Coke immediately. And
but she scared me. Now I think about my brain with all these
petri dish
things trying to get me. And I don't want my brain to get
you don't want them
attacked.
Coming out of your ear.
Yeah, like, oh, she's right. You know,
so we while he was in the hospital, I did bring him drinks from some of the juice bars and things like that. green drinks is the main thing, main green drinks, because it helps to boost your frequency. And that helps you when they have to give you things like radiation and chemotherapy, that reduces your frequency. You just want to do things to keep it up. And I did tons of Young Living oils every day. And the whole hospital was in there borrowing them from me. But anything to boost your frequency as they're working on you. So I told the doctors and nurses, like, I'm going to try to help elevate him while you have to do whatever you do. And hopefully in somewhere in between, it all, starts to jive. And in fact, we saw it in the first couple of weeks because even though he was having really garbagey food at the hospital, I could sort of I asked him if I could just order the things that I wanted him to have. And so he had a lot of broccoli and I kind of manipulate some of the food, but it was not easy to do that. But I did what I could. And then when we got back to the house after the hospital, every day we do green drinks consisting of celery and cucumber and fresh turmeric and fresh ginger and in coconut water and banana and blueberry and cinnamon. And all these things are antioxidant. And then we have been kind of taking a lot of Ningxia from Young Living because it has a high oxidation, antioxidation. And so it again pulls your frequency up so that you can maintain the other stuff. Every single week he has been in chemotherapy, his blood levels have improved. And they couldn't believe it. They said, we gave him so much stuff. We thought he was going to be sick, and we thought we'd have to pull him off of treatment for a week or two to build his blood levels back up, because typically we see huge drops while we're doing all these it's like kind of, I don't know, it's like bombarding your system. But what we found when we were sitting in a lot of the waiting rooms is that people haven't changed anything because the doctors and nurses kind of make them think that they need quality of life, which to them means just go and do whatever you normally do because you're going to die pretty soon. So don't worry about it. And I'm just thinking, what? I mean, but I understand where all that comes from. And now I have more interesting stories about that. But Tom, he immediately started to change what he was doing and he immediately started feeling better. And his blood got better and his skin got better. And he just had more energy every month or every week and then every month. And then last night, like, he's been fine all day. And they gave me extra stuff to combat what they thought he was going to feel. So I feel like we're going to go back and do another MRI in a month. And I just really think that he'll continue to improve because I think as cancer, as you get the toxicity out of your body, the cancer doesn't really want to go crazy growing. It just wants to be normal. And it's like a stem cell. It starts to settle down and just become normal again. And so the 4-minute mile was never proven until it was. And now if you don't run 4-minute miles, nobody wants you on their team. So I feel like everybody establishes a new set of norms. And sometimes our norms are so low, it's ridiculous.
Well, that kind of makes me think when they sort of dismissed you, Tom, in palliative care, comfort, right? Like go do whatever you want. But what if the quality you pick isn't the food and the junk? The quality you pick is the quality of life left. And we're all living in that, right? Like none of us know when we're going. And so those foods and those choices and those frequency enhancers, everything that you're doing to feel better is a quality choice. Now, somebody else may make the choice of quality is the mashed potatoes and beef. Yeah, exactly. Sure. But the truth is, and this is, I want to ask you, Tom, because I know that last week, I think, or maybe we talked offline about this, that you feel that you have, I'll say, a softer lens when you're driving. You're not as aggressive. So it seems to have affected the quality of your life when it comes to like your spirituality or your kindness or your lens. Can you talk on that?
Yeah, it's really true. Um, I think that when you like, especially when you go through this, there and you see all the care and the effort that it plays, like when I look back to uh, October 7th when this happened, you don't know what's coming down the road. I kept thinking that, well, I'll be out of here like next week or so. Well, no, I kept saying, well, we'll start doing next week. No, and you just get a it's like you get humbled, maybe. I don't know. It's just you are just like you're glad to be alive. I want to go help my other friends, like Wayne. Uh, he's going to be in Colorado, but he's going to go get surgery. You makes you have a better compassion for life, and I don't know. I, you know, I didn't ever run red lights very often, but you just have a better, how do you say, the people at the hospital, your friends, you have a different value with your life. I love that I get to see with you guys, and I'm glad to still be alive to chat with you. And so what's crazy is you like the people said in the all the way from you know from the first week at the hospital. It's like you just have you see a lot of people that care about other people's well well-being, and when you see that amount of uh, effort
Human compassion.
yeah, like that.
Human compassion.
Yeah. From the guys that got me in the ambulance on the very first day to show the one that they're still kicking me out the door. It's like I think about, gosh, how do those people, like, I'm just talking, but how do they do that every single day and hour of guys like Tom? It's like, we love you, Tom, but we have three more guys in the waiting room just like you, so you got to keep going. But they love you, and it's just there is a magic thing I think that happens in your lifetime, your in your life, and but it makes you appreciate love. I think about my friends from rugby days, my family, my son. These people aren't even here to embrace and cherish their lives with them. So I think, God, I'm really a lucky guy, to do this. So,
Kind of like a whole new awareness.
yeah, really, you do.
Yeah, and
Yes,
we're so proud of you because we're all going to go through something
something,
and have gone through and will go through more. And that's just what we were talking about community. Community
right?
is community and human compassion is so necessary for all of us to get through life. It makes such a difference when you're just kind to people
Right.
and you actually you have consideration for others. Yeah, that's a
It's
healthy
just
thing.
God in action, it's God in action. I mean, God is so good and has made such a perfect world, including, I read something last week or the week before that if you think about all the molecules you have in one human body, you can compare that to all the people on earth, all of the beings, the pets on earth, all the beings on earth. There are more molecules in your body, Laura, than all that on the planet.
Wow.
And so we're kind of like a planet right here, but then together we're also little molecules of pieces of God, and God works through us as us. And it's a perfect world if you work it. What is the thing that you say, if you work it, you work it, or something? It's like,
Me?
yeah,
Perfect action beats imperfect action beats perfect inaction. That one?
yeah, something like that, where you know God has rules about what'll work for you. And it's not rules to hinder you or to make your life not fun. It's like, if you just line yourself up, you can make 1,000 mistakes because it doesn't matter. You'll line back up again.
Yeah.
But just don't live in mistake after mistake after mistake and just think that your life is going to be okay, because you're just going to create a toxic waste dump, and then you have to clean all that up. And it takes so time. Now we're into the 6 months, and Tom said, "Gosh, I just didn't want to have to keep on concentrating this hard." And I said, "It's just life. Life is just one more choice. And
Yeah.
which choice are you going to make? And you can make a choice. You could go eat 3 donuts right now. It's not going to kill him."
What?
Probably,
She said the D word.
probably a
Yeah.
bad choice. But the thing is that now he's like, it just doesn't make me feel good. I just don't
Yeah.
want to
Then
do
you
it.
don't feel good. Just
You
like
know?
quitting drinking, and
That's
then you
what's
have a
so
drink and you're like,
that's
that makes you
Yeah.
feel like crap. So
that's what's so interesting as you take it out. So,
Mhm.
people, because part of my expertise is fat loss, and people take this out to get the result, and then they go right back to the way they were,
Right.
and that's why the weight gain happens. But they never connect to their body that they actually felt better. It wasn't just about getting
That's right.
skinny, getting or losing weight and losing fat was a byproduct of getting well, getting uninflamed. And actually, I've been working on music, as you guys know. That's why I went to California last week. And I was listening to a podcast about someone whose adenoids grew back, and he didn't have time to retake them out, but it affected his singing because they were inflamed. So he went on an anti-inflammatory diet, and everything got better, not just his singing and
Wow.
his adenoids. And he talked about movement, get your muscles going, get the blood flowing, and then that stuff gets in your molecules. So you're doing so many good things, Tom. You really
Thank
are, and
you.
you're inspiring so many. And you touch my heart. Your journey touches my
Uh,
heart.
maybe we'll
Thank
do
you.
another episode with Tom, and I don't know, we'll decide when, but we'd love to. We'll circle
Sure,
back.
that'd be fun.
The
Yeah.
journey. Well, I think I've known you girls. You've been part of my life for a while, and Laura for a really long time, and we've changed so much, and
Mm.
we will change so much again 5 years from now, 10 years from now, and this is the fun and adventure of a human. And unfortunately, people get so programmed that life is just about sitting down in front of the television and drinking a bunch of beer and eating potato chips, and they think that's fun. And it's such a waste of
Well,
amazing.
it's also a plan. So, you've got to disengage from societal pressures because it is designed to keep you that way. So
Yeah.
you need to, when you feel that societal pressure, just say, no, not me. I am breaking free.
Yeah.
And I need to break free right now. So I hate to
Okay.
Yeah,
So
bye,
no,
but
you got to
On
put your
that note,
dancing booties on and
I
go.
am going line dancing with my cowboy
let's see the
boots.
boots.
Yeah, let's see your
Let's see
boots.
those.
Okay, just a minute.
All right.
so
Wow,
the key is to keep adventuring through life and just know the growth mindset versus the fixed mindset. Don't
right.
sit and watch TV and watch the programming. Create your own. Create
You're
your
right.
own life. Like, you get to choose your adventure. And some
Right.
adventures we don't want to go on, but I love, Trish, how you said cancer is your friend, because seems like it's an enemy, but think of what it's done for you, Tom. Like, you've
Right.
changed person. Your quality of
For
life
sure.
is much better.
That's very true.
Well, I wrote in my little blog. Oh, I think.
Oh, look at them. Those are
Yeah. So
something.
can you put them on and put your feet up? Can you put your feet up? Put them on and put your
That's
feet.
asking a lot.
It is. That's TMI.
Especially with my joint.
Oh
movie.
yeah. We don't want to do that. Don't throw any sacroiliac out.
Yeah. Well, I love you guys.
I
And
love
Tom, we'll
you.
see you
Guys,
soon.
thank
And
you so much,
I'll
Tom,
talk
for
to
your
you all.
time.
Thank you, audience, for
Yeah,
joining us. We
thank you.
love
We
it.
love you, Tom.
Yeah.
You too.
All right. Bye-bye.
And stay healthy, everybody.
Yeah, have a great week. See you.